you've listened to the latest episode of our podcast, And Then They Were Gone, on the disappearance of Patty Meehan, I want to know what you think actually happened to her. Did she hitchhike her way out of Circle, Montana after the car accident, or did she succumb to the elements nearby? Patty Meehan has been missing for 35 years, and this all started one night in Circle, Montana, nearly 400 miles from her home in Bozeman. She was driving and veered into oncoming traffic, striking a car head on. And when the person she hit got out and asked if she was okay, she just stared at them. Patty then climbed a fence, went into a nearby pasture, and walked off. By the time first responders arrived, she was gone. The only thing that they found were some footprints that just disappeared. But about a week or two later, people started seeing her. She was in diners where she would just sit for hours on end drinking coffee or water. She was at a truck stop where she was seen with a man. She was just seen going from town to town, state to state, east and then west, eventually ending up in Washington state, allegedly. You see, eventually there was a woman who was arrested who everybody thought was Patty. But when her parents spoke to her on the phone, they determined that it wasn't their daughter. But what I find wild about that is there are many places on the internet that say that this woman was ruled out by fingerprints as being Patty, but I couldn't find any original documents that actually stated that. So I don't know if that's true or if she was determined to have not been Patty because she didn't sound like Patty. Over the years, there have been a lot of rumors. Some people think that she ended up living on the streets, and there have been several Jane Does that have been ruled out as having been her. I even read somewhere that, they thought she was living under an assumed identity for years and just living a completely normal life. While others think that she never really made it out of the area that night on April 20th, 1989. That perhaps she wandered into a heavily wooded area, succumbed to the elements, and just simply hasn't been found. We obviously go into a lot more details on this in the podcast. So if you're interested and you haven't heard it yet, be sure to give it a listen. But if you have, I really do want to know, what do you think happened to Patty Meehan?